Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Bull City Hangout 615. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter, this Durham, North Carolina's online community paper. And with the Bull City Hangout, basically I tell you what's happening today in Durham and tomorrow morning. And then I invite you to join me on camera to share information or just shoot the breeze. So let's get started, as always, on the school tools page because it is time to eat. It is lunchtime. And for people in need, young folks, ages 18 and under can get free bagged breakfast and lunch from these schools I'm going to mention to you. The addresses can be found on the school tools page. You go to durhamskywriter.com, scroll down or click on the school tools page. So you have until 12:30 to get to Bethesda, Eno Valley, Githens, Iron Harris, Hillside High School, or Parkwood. And then you have until 1:30 to get to Burton, Lakeview, Shepherd, Southern High School, or Southwest Elementary School. All righty, let me scroll up here because I want to remind you there's a few spots open for Durham's Universal Pre-K program, pre-kindergarten program. So again, the link can be found on the school tools page. You can click and download the application. You can fill it out in English or Spanish. And if you don't want to do that, you can actually apply over the phone and have like a conversation with a counselor. So you can call this phone number that I'm listing here on the Let's Go page. I'm sorry, the school tools page. You can call, leave a message, and the counselor will set up something at a mutually beneficial time. And again, that can be done in English or Spanish. All righty, let's scroll down to this nice partnership of Chicken Hut and Healthy Start Academy. Basically, Healthy Start Academy folks are right there inside Chicken Hut. Chicken Hut as always has the best buffet in town. I have a guest waiting, me, Christine, so I'll be with you in just a second. So basically, what was I saying? Yes, so if you're in need, you can actually pick up a free boxed lunch for your child at Chicken Hut, which is pretty wild. That's pretty cool. And now let's scroll down to Moorhead at Home. Moorhead Planetarium has wonderful, just because it's June, it doesn't mean you have to quit learning. So Moorhead Planetarium has these nice videos and programming for those of us who love to learn stuff. So let's see, tomorrow morning, the topic will be June Carolina skies. That's going to be tomorrow morning, 10 until 10:30. You can learn how to identify the stars that you get to see on a clear night. I think it's going to be rainy the rest of the week. That's okay, because you can still use this information and identify the stars once you get to see the stars. All righty, it's a Zoom event, and the link, again, can be found right there on the school tools page. And now, oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but there's something called the Strong Schools NC Resource Guide. It's wonderful, it's right here, right there on the school tools page. You can read it from the Durham Skywriter, or you can download it. If you want to save space, of course, you might want to read it from the Durham Skywriter page. But basically, it's called Strong Schools NC Public Health Toolkit, K through 12. It's comprehensive. Some of the topics are like new health requirements for school, weather and how the schools will reopen, plans for various scenarios should there be an outbreak or another outbreak of coronavirus, cleaning, hygiene tips, monitoring for symptoms, what to do. So anyway, be sure to read Strong Schools NC, the resource guide. All right, now let's go to the health page. It's called To Your Health. I just wanted to mention I mentioned this last week. The Community Health Coalition has something called the Cover Durham Project. They're giving away 40,000 face masks. And the way they're doing it, I told you I was going to find out how they're doing it. They're actually allowing organizations to help them. So they're dispensing free face masks via other organizations. So I think if your organization is able to help out, you can contact Community Health Coalition. It's listed right there on the To Your Health page. I give the phone number and I give the email address, all that. Anything you need can be found on the To Your Health page. All right, let's go to the Legalese page, and I can't wait to see what Christine has to say. But I did want to let you know that the City Council will be meeting tonight, 7 o'clock, virtually, of course. And the agenda is listed right there on the Legalese page. Let's just click on the agenda real quick and just see what they'll be talking about. Mostly it's going to be appointments because, as you know, they're filling spots on these various committees. So the appointments and reappointments are going to be mostly tonight, 7 o'clock. And then they're also going to be talking about, I think, housing. Let's see if I can scroll down. Let's see. Oh, transfer of ownership of 2017 light transit vehicles from the city of Durham to Chapel Hill. That's interesting. Okay. Also, relocation assistance contract with the Housing Authority of the city of Durham. That sounds interesting. Let's see. Anyway, it's about collecting taxes, the Southeast Sustainable Communities Program grant. I'll read up on that one for sure. A contract with Rebuilding Together of a Triangle. They are awesome because they helped people on my block, including me. So I highly recommend them. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting meeting. It looks like it's going to be a long meeting. So be sure to read the agenda and attend the meeting. All the different links that you need can be found on the Legalese page. Now, last but not least, let's go to the Let's Go page and scroll down to 6:15. Let's see. Actually, there's a meeting going on right now. Oh, let me scroll down to that real quick. Oh, I hate to miss their meetings, but the Coalition for Affordable Housing and Transit, they're meeting right now. So if you actually wanted to leave, the meeting is only until 1 o'clock. So if you wanted to attend that meeting and then watch this on the replay, definitely go for it. So today's topic will be evictions. Tough topic. Again, Coalition for Affordable Housing and Transit, noon until 1, going on right now. Go to the Let's Go page for information on that one and for the link. And the Durham Center for Senior Life and North Star Church for the Arts, they're co-sponsoring a live stream concert. All right, that starts at 1 o'clock. Jazz vocalist Nina Freeland, bassist John Brown, and special guests. That's going to be from 1 until 2 this afternoon. It's going to be live, but it's going to be live streamed. So they'll be doing songs by Duke Ellington, Harold Arlen, Miles Davis, et cetera, et cetera. It's a Facebook event. It will emanate from the Durham Center for Senior Life page, and the link can be found on the Let's Go page. All righty. Now tonight, this afternoon, Legal Aid of North Carolina, every Monday they have something called Home, and that is housing on Monday evening, where they talk about various housing topics. If you have any questions, attend and check that out as well. I believe it's a Zoom event. The link is on the Let's Go page. And let's see, Rebuild Communities NC, they're holding a dialogue helping families with the challenges of race, Blacks and whites. That's going to be on at 6:30, and they're going to explore history and work toward building a future based on the oneness of humanity. All right, the link again is on the Let's Go page. Now, I told you about the City Council meeting. Now, tomorrow morning, of course, Local Pops, Story Time with Amy Godfrey online, right there on Facebook, on the Local Pops page, 10:30 until 11. Very quickly, weather report. You already know it's raining. It's 59. It's only 59. I don't want to complain. It's only going up to 62, but I think I'll live. Tomorrow's going up to 64. I won't complain. It'll be rainy, but we'll get through this. We've been through worse. So let's bring on our guest to see what Christine has to talk about. Christine. How are you?
Fine. How are you doing? I just ran across.
Fine.
Good. I just ran across your notice here, and just I didn't have anything in particular to say. I just it would be nice to tune in and see you again and hear what's going on. And that's very exciting about it.
How are things?
Oh, hanging in there, just like everybody else, and trying to stay safe and all. And I'm so glad that they're giving away masks for folks that aren't able to get hold of those. It's a really big thing for protection from virus, wearing masks.
Now, just in case there's a delay, you might want to close your Facebook page because sometimes there's like a 20-second delay. So you're probably on the StreamYard page, but if you have both pages open, you might want to close your Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. So what's going on in the world of jazz?
Well, most of the playing that I've been doing is just, from home. I've been doing a little bit of virtual playing.
Have you considered, about the concert at 1 o'clock, Nina Freelon, John Brown?
Yeah.
Have you thought of doing that, live streaming some music?
Yes, I have to learn how to do that. I'm self-confessed, I'm a really donkey with the computers. I know nothing about computers. So I'm just learning, I just found out like the other night how to use Facebook Live.
Okay.
But anyway, I have to experiment and sort of get my feet wet with all that.
Okay. Well, just to let you know, you are on StreamYard. And it's a cool platform in that I am broadcasting not only to Facebook, but also to YouTube at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And actually, if you want to test it out and you happen to have your piano nearby.
Yeah. Do you want to sing something?
Oh, I don't sing it. I'm a horrible singer. But if you wanted to play a little something, let's test it out.
Well, I would be interested to see if there's simultaneity. I haven't.
I already know there's a lag. Yeah,
there's a lag. Okay.
You need special apps because you see musicians playing together on Facebook. Very often, those are pre-recorded and then put together.
Yeah.
There are a couple of apps that allow musicians to play together in real time.
Okay.
One is called, I think it's called Jam Kazam. Something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But as far as you're playing, let's see what it sounds like. I'm curious as to how music sounds on StreamYard. If you just happen to be at your playing.
Well, I just have my old Casio here. So
okay.
Let me see what we got.
All blues.
So is it coming through?
Yes, that sounded really, really good.
Okay.
I forgot to have you tell us who you are for those of us who don't know Christine Keller.
Oh,
obviously I know you're a jazz musician.
Well, I just have always loved music, and my mom was a really big jazz fan. When I was little, I remember my lullabies. It was hearing Ella and Duke Ellington, Count Basie, and so growing up with hearing that around the house, I just really fell in love with that sound.
Mm-hmm. Did you get to see any musicians live when you were a kid?
I know. I think my first seeing it like a jazz group was around college age.
Okay.
And but I studied classical music from age 5, and then got my degree at Chapel Hill way back a million years ago.
Mhm.
And but then it started to occur to me a few years out of the formal music training that I really wanted to play jazz more. It was funny that I didn't know how to go about it, but and I went out and I've got a few printed music things and started reading through it. And then I'm going, wait a minute, I know this tune. Because I remember hearing it from way, way, way back. And about that time, I ran into a very fine teacher, Jim Milne, and he helped me go from, he helped me bridge from the classical over to jazz. And he was also of the Baha'i faith, and he's the one that told me about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Do you know a lot of musicians who have gone from classical to jazz?
Well, yeah, quite a few, but everybody has their. I mean, music it reaches people in whatever way, through whatever means.
Because one thing I don't know about Miles Davis's childhood or anything like that, but I do know that he said all musicians should know how to play the piano.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably because he wanted to make sure that people at least were familiar with the theory.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I think that's helpful.
Yeah, with piano, it's like a big map of music, and it's so simple because the way it's laid out is like, it's so logical.
Yeah, the notes repeat every 13 notes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's actually an easier instrument to play in terms of logic than some others, like, with the stringed instruments, you have to contort your fingers to make a scale. Here, you just go left to right or right to left.
When I was a kid, I had a friend who played trombone, and I asked her to play a scale, and I was expecting her to go, da, 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 like, but she was like, it took all of these different configurations to play the notes all in a row in a scale. I could not figure that out. I still don't know why it was like that.
Yeah, that's why I say that their instruments are much more complicated than piano to play.
Yeah.
Another good thing too, you can see, how the theory it does help understand the theory.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wish every house every child had access to a piano,
Yeah, even if it's a little keyboard, because nowadays I don't know if families go all out and buy the full-size pianos anymore. I honestly don't know. I've been let's see, since moving here to Durham, I'm trying to think if I know anyone with a piano. I think I might know only one family with it. I mean, that was like a regular thing when I was a little kid, because everybody had piano lessons,
Yeah, and the schools all had pianos in them. Mm-hmm. And that's back when they had music courses in schools.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a mommy, so I don't even know. I have no idea what they're doing in terms of music these days. Are the kids learning music at all? Because I know later, when I was an older kid, they were switching to clarinets, and then after that, recorders to introduce kids to music.
We had just a little bit. I grew up out in Oregon. We had just a little bit in primary school, and then in middle school, and then towards junior high and high school, they started having orchestra, band, choir. Mm-hmm. But there was music was incorporated as part of the education there. It was a given. It was guaranteed.
Yeah.
Some schools are pulling it and pulling arts education altogether, and that's really sad because that's a big part of education.
I can't imagine school without the arts.
I can't either. I mean,
I don't even see the point of school without the arts. I mean, I like math, I like history, English, and all that, but music is. I mean, I went to it was like a master class at North Carolina Central University, and the gentleman leading the master class, he asked what music was, and different students were raising their hands, and I raised my hand. And I said, Brazilians call soccer the beautiful game. I call music the beautiful math.
Yes.
Because it's very, I mean, it's not just math, of course. It's emotion. It's all that. But when you look at music, when you look at songs, you can see the math if you care about that.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the math.
There's a beautiful saying that music is mathematics is the music of the mind, just as music is the mathematics of the soul.
Wow.
And I don't know who said that.
Say that again. I'm going to jot down. Okay, say it again.
Mathematics is the music of the mind, just as music is the mathematics of the soul.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I like that. I like that.
I wish I could find this, or I'll have to Google it sometime.
They go hand in hand, because if you're teaching a kid theory, they're going to be able to relate that to arithmetic and mathematics, you know, because music isn't all just. Now, I don't know about a lot of kids want to be rappers, and a lot of the young people that I have met through the years who are rappers or who wanted to rap wanted to leave the music to the producer and not worry about it and just worry about the words. And I really think if you're not teaching music in class, because of the natural inclination to want to do what you already see, which is on the radio, the kids might not realize the value of music the way they did. Because, you know, when I was a kid, music, of course, you know, soul music, rock, all the war protests, a lot of music had to do with the protests, et cetera, you know, protest songs, folk music. I'm from Chicago, so folk music was a big deal in terms of protests. So music was very integral.
For music.
Yeah, but if the kids aren't even realizing that music is important, even for rap, they're going to totally miss out.
Yeah. And the relationship between music and math is so close. There's something called, I can't do this on an electric piano, but there's something called the overtone series, which you hear when you hear a note, you're actually hearing more than that, just that note. Let me see if I can play it on here. It won't resonate the way it should. If I had a grand piano, it would be better. And I don't know that this goes all the way down, but if you are playing like a low, you're hearing more than just that note. You're actually hearing that one, and then it goes up. But you can hear it better when you have, for instance, that note. You can almost hear that if I don't even play it. Hear the D there, and the way that it goes from an octave up, a fifth up, a fourth above that, a third above that, a second, and it's amazing how that it kind of echoes the spacing of the planets away from the sun.
Wow! What
the ratio that was this in a lot of that's in nature.
That is wild,
isn't it? Isn't it?
I studied music theory, but I didn't get that lesson. That is awesome.
I wish I had a good grand piano here at my disposal, because it's so easy to hear it that way. You get the resonance, the actual physical sympathetic vibration of those strings, besides just the one bass note that you hear. Those other strings will vibrate in harmony with it.
Interesting. I'm hoping that we will eventually get to the day where, actually, I think some students are already learning more comprehensively, where it's not just strictly science and strictly English, like they're sort of learning things together. Like a friend of mine went to Dartmouth College, and she said during art class, they were learning about history because to learn about the lighting and the materials learned in oil painting, they had to talk about where the stuff was coming from, which meant they had to learn about history, what was going on in that particular country at the same time. And that might have included war, that might have included insurrections, that might have included scientific development, you know. And so this is supposed to be like an art class where they're learning all this history and science all at the same time.
Well, that's the, you know, the cross education, everything, it all works together, you know.
Are they doing that in the schools yet, do you think?
Pardon?
Are they doing that in the schools yet? I mean, with younger kiddies?
I don't know.
That would be ideal.
It would. In my music teaching, I've just, you know, taught primarily privately. I don't have the certification for teaching in the schools, but it does make sense to teach that way, because the things that you learn in math and music help each other. And like you're saying, the things of learning about the what things were like back in that time in history helps understand the artwork better.
Yeah, because actually, I was shown a painting where the lighting was like a certain way, like coming in at an angle. And to me, it was just a nice painting. But my friend Blanche explained that at that particular time in, I think, Germany, photography was developing ways of dealing with light in new ways, and that affected the oil painters as well.
Yeah.
So they were paying attention to the photographers, and this all had to do with scientific discoveries as well. You know. So anyway, all this stuff is cool. Tell us about your teaching. So you have private students. You go to have an actual school that you meet the student at?
Well, again, because of the COVID, I was teaching for a while up in Apex, a place called Locals Guitars and Music. But that where their location, that whole block got bought out, a real estate buyout, and they doubled the rent and everything. So the store basically had to close. They couldn't afford the rent.
Oh man!
But I'm going to have to learn about the computer, about how to set up to do lessons. And
you know, a lot of teachers are teaching online. You know, they accept the PayPal payment. Once the payment goes through, then they give the child or the student the link. And in fact, I mean, look, you have two different windows here on StreamYard. So you can do it on StreamYard. You don't have to broadcast.
Wow.
So you can actually give the student the link, join you on StreamYard. We're only able to be seen by the public because I clicked on Start Broadcast. You never have to click that button if you don't want to.
Oh, okay.
And still, the only problem is if it is broadcast, of course, if it's not broadcast, rather, it won't be recorded. And if the student wants it recorded, then what you could do, you can have the lesson and broadcast to YouTube and mark it unlisted, which means after the lesson's over, no one will find it because it's unlisted, and you give the student that link.
Oh, okay. Well, I have to learn a whole lot more about YouTube before I even attempt to do this. But this is called StreamYard.
Yeah, this is StreamYard.
StreamYard. It's great. It works
and
really
we can talk over the phone, or actually in another StreamYard talk without broadcasting later, and I can tell you all about it. But a lot of teachers and also English and foreign language instructors are holding, giving classes online now. And the money's great. I mean, you don't have to travel.
Yeah.
You know, PayPal payments. And, you know, with Facebook, you can pay via Facebook as well.
Oh, you can? Oh,
yeah.
God. I've got to learn about all this stuff here.
You could be
another thing I was looking forward to doing, I love accompanying singers. And a friend and I tried, she sang, we got together on a Zoom meeting with a church I was playing for, and she sang Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Nice.
And it hung together, but just barely because the delay and all. But if it's a piece that's slow enough tempo, I think that you can do it with two people.
Okay. Or like I said, you can. What they tend to do is that they record things separately and put them together and make it look as if they did it at the same time, which they didn't. But then you might want to check out Jam Kazam.
Jam Kazam. Okay.
I haven't checked it out yet, but it's apparently where you can join musicians and play live. Somehow the software makes the delay negligible, and you can play in real time with other musicians.
Okay, Jam Kazam.
Jam Kazam.
Is that with 2 A's, Kazam?
Probably not. I think it's just one.
K-A-Z-A-M.
I think so. I think so. I'll check it and let you know.
Okay, great.
So tell us, so the ages of your students, are these what, high school, little kids?
Well, when I was teaching in APEC, so mostly middle school to high school. Yeah.
And any of them interested in jazz, or you just have the strict classical curriculum?
And, it was really fun teaching there because there was students from all over. Like I had a lot of folks from India and Philippines and Korea. And it was just a really interesting mix.
Nice.
We had a great time. I always loved teaching music to kids.
Well, I hate that the store closed, but maybe you can get in contact with those students and bring them online.
Yeah, possibly.
Because I would guess that most of them at least have some kind of a tablet or a smartphone or something.
And they would bring their smartphones and they would record stuff. And I know nothing about these. I just, every time I'm stumped, I just hand it to a little kid. They know what they're doing.
They can figure it out.
Oh, perfectly. Perfectly.
Well, once you learn, again, like I said, you can be online. You can broadcast it over to YouTube, make it unlisted. And then both the teacher and the student will have access to each lesson. And yeah, you could even have recital. Can you imagine? Because back in the day, I don't know if they still do that. If the students still have recitals, online recitals. Yeah,
and it's good to get kids used to that. The younger, the better. So it's perfectly natural for them to perform for folks. And,
the biggest lesson I learned as a classical piano student as a little kid was when you make a mistake, keep on going.
Yep.
That's been true for everything I do.
Yeah.
When you mess up, just keep on going. Most people either can't tell the difference, or if they can tell that you messed up, they will admire the fact that you kept going.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's winner both ways.
Yeah. And it's that's true in life too. It's just keep on keeping on. There's no mistakes. There's only learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? I know I've told you different stories in our talks, but my sister did something amazing. She was an actress, and she was in a, what's it called? Having Our Say. Those two sisters that were like 100 years old, and they were like teachers.
Oh, okay.
They were like famous. And I think they were in Raleigh, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, they're African American. But anyway, so there was a 2-person play made where one person is one sister, the other actor is the other sister. It's an intense if you can imagine, just 2 people on stage. So they were in a different city, all right? So both actresses had flown in to Ohio or whatever. And not to disparage New Yorkers, but the other actor was from New York and didn't want to rehearse because she thought she was like hot stuff. I'm broadcasting this all over the world. I'm sorry. I'm not going to mention her name though, but she thought she was hot stuff. And she was like, oh, I got this. So they were doing the show. The lady forgot her line. And my sister had played both parts. So she knew the whole play frontwards and backwards. So she threw her the line because she knew all the lines. Because when you're in theater, if you just learn your lines, that's not actually good. You actually should learn what the story's about at least.
Yeah.
So anyway, my sister threw her the line, threw her another line, tried to, get her to remember, and she went back, and through, did her line again and tried to prompt it. She couldn't get it. She could not remember. So I don't know what anybody else would have done. They might have just run out of the theater crying. But my sister said, "We'll be right back." So they went backstage, and they went through the lines a couple of times, like prompt, and then they went back on stage and picked up where they left off. And my sister was horrified that she had to do that. I told her, I said, "You saved the show."
She did. She saved the day there.
Because I don't know what another actor, maybe with a bigger ego, would have started an argument or tried to make the other one look bad.
That takes great presence of mind.
Yeah.
To carry that on.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's important for music, theater, and everything.
Yeah.
Not just keep going, but to help the person, don't antagonize the person who, "Oh, who's that?"
Oh, this is Mr. Mackey.
Mr. Mackey. Hi.
He says hello.
Have you seen those videos? There's this guy. He has a cat lying. What's the piano? It's like a spinet piano where you can see the strings.
Yeah.
And so the cat is lying there, and he's playing like these nice, calm classical songs. And the cat is just like sitting there, like totally relaxed.
Yeah.
And he has dozens of videos.
Oh, I think I have seen that guy. Yeah.
It is so cool. You should do that.
Oh yeah. Animals love music. I've always found that to be the case. No matter what instrument you're playing, or if you're singing, animals really respond to music.
Oh, I love the videos where the people are playing trumpets to elephants, and they in fact, there's this one guy, he's playing I can't remember what instrument. He's playing some instrument, and this one cow comes and he's like, "What's going on?" And then you look up and there's like 6 cows, and then like a whole herd of cows, and they're like standing against the fence like, "Oh, this is great."
Right. And there's one of a guy who plays piano for elephants, and he gets into this boogie woogie thing, and this one elephant is dancing in rhythm to the thing and swinging his tail.
I saw an elephant actually try to play the piano with his trunk. He was like just kind of hitting the keys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, Mackey's doing that right now on the piano, but I got it turned off. So.
Oh, he probably wants you to play something.
So he just hopped up on the keys.
He's cute. Actually, my stray cat just gave birth to 5 kittens.
Oh, you have a cat? Wow.
Well, I was adopted by these cats.
That happens.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep coming over here.
I have the same thing.
They're like, "Hey, this lady's nice. She's going to feed us." So
yeah, right.
I don't know where they come from. They just kind of make themselves at home.
They'll find the people they like, right?
I guess. So there's 5 little. They're only like they're like tiny.
Oh
the
wow!
cutest things. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, so I guess you'll be looking to find homes for them then, right?
Yes, but I want them to finish. What's the word? They need to be weaned off.
Yeah.
They're real tiny right now. I don't want to take them too young. But I want them to live, because stray cats don't last long here.
Yeah.
And they mostly get killed by stray dogs and whatnot. We don't have fences in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So stray dogs, and and a couple of my cats got killed by stray dogs.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, they just, it's almost like living in the forest.
Yeah. Well, it's good that they stay with their mommy until they're, older and stronger. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of having to take care of a cat that was like the mother abandoned it, or the mother was killed or something, but a really, really young cat.
No.
It is so much work. Oh my God.
Really?
And it makes you appreciate what the mother cats do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have to be kept very, very warm. Mm-hmm. And if you feed them, you have to warm them before you feed them, or their ears can't handle the formula for some reason.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a 24/7 job.
Yeah. So obviously you've done that.
I tried. There were 2 that I found that after the mother cat died, only one of them made it because I didn't know that thing about having to warm them before you feed them.
I never even heard of that.
Way.
That's too bad. But what's scary around here is that every now and then I'll hear a huge ruckus and I'll jump up and there will be a stray dog on my back porch. And of course the cats scatter.
Yeah.
But they're so young. I haven't had any dogs show up since these little kittens emerged. But I'm just really worried if a stray dog comes on my deck. I don't know if they can run fast enough. So I just hope and pray that I can give them away before they're discovered by a stray animal. Yeah, I want them to live, and they're so cute.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're going to make really cute pets.
That's great. Well, I tell you, I'll keep that in mind, and I don't know if I can get away with another cat, but where I live, where I rent, but I'll keep that in mind that you have kittens to give away.
Okay, and keep me posted in terms of your music, and I would love to help you get online because again, there are teachers of music, English. There's a lot of people in foreign countries wanting to learn English. People are giving English classes like $20 a pop, $25 a pop for like a half hour of conversation.
Yeah.
You can do it right here on StreamYard, where you don't have to broadcast it. You can do it on. There's so many different platforms. My favorite is StreamYard.
StreamYard, okay.
But yeah, it's not free. Although you can try it out for free. But you're limited in terms of time, and then it's not recorded. But you can try it out just to see how it works.
Okay.
But then once you decide that you're going to become a member, I think the package that I have bought, I think it's like $200 a year.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But it's worth it. It's worth it because,
And if it works for everything that you want to do, all together in one complete package, it's worth it. It's a good
investment. And in your case, if you're going to be making money with it, you can get that money back quite easily if you have students who are paying for music lessons.
Yeah.
And then you're not restricted by location at all. Because what some people do, they go on, they have conversations like on Facebook, and they might be in a conversation, just hanging out, because a lot of people just hang out on Facebook or Zoom or whatever. And they're like, yeah, I don't know if you're aware, but I teach conversational English, or I teach oboe, whatever. And then people, oh yeah, how much? How can I, And then they say, yeah, well, my website is here, or let's take this offline. Let's, talk on the phone or talk via whatever, FaceTime or whatever, and then connect with the student, and there you go.
Wow, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Patricia, for all this helpful information. This
Absolutely. Oh, are you a member of the there are different Facebook pages for the arts and jazz, so join those.
Wow.
And let people know that you're an instructor.
Yeah, I'll have to how would I guess I could just look up with keywords, arts.
Yeah, just keywords like there. I know you're not in Durham. I know you're in Raleigh.
Yeah.
But there is a group called Durham Creatives. There might be a Raleigh Creatives. I don't know. But just look up the arts.
Okay.
Also teachers. I also use the word triangle in your search.
Yes.
Triangle. Durham, Apex, Hillsborough, whatever.
Yeah.
And or even jazz teacher, because since it's online, you don't have to worry about local. You might want to say like beginning classical instruction, or online jazz, piano, and however you want to word it.
Or if I wonder if there's any singers looking for accompanist out there. Maybe I can. Yeah.
You can take out Facebook ads.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is a whole different thing. But my mom used to accompany singers. That was not jazz though, but accompanists are. Yeah. That's a special skill.
Yeah, and I love playing for really, really great singers. I think I get a vicarious thrill because I sing a little bit, but I wasn't born with pipes, like some people.
I certainly was
But I love playing for really good singers.
Jazz and classical?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Cool. Because I can't remember what German lieder means, but Mom used to accompany German lieder.
German songs, yeah.
Lieder. I'm not sure what it means. Some
songs.
kind of Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I know it's like classical. I know she accompanied a cellist and different singers. Never jazz though. Mom always wanted to play jazz, but she said if it's not written down, she can't play it.
Oh,
that was just that was just her thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to hear you accompany folks. And speaking of accompany, in 15 minutes, Nina Freelon, John Brown on the Durham Center for Senior Life Facebook page. Be there.
Durham Center for Senior Life. Okay, will do.
So I'm actually going to check out the last few minutes of the Coalition for Affordable Housing and Transit meeting. Then I'm going to jump over and listen to Nina. And
it's
John.
Been great visiting with you. Thank you so much for all the information.
Absolutely. Take care, Christine.
You too. Take care now.
Bye-bye. That was so fun. As always, I love when people just drop in. So if you want to do that, I do this show every day at noon except Sunday. It's called Bull City Hangout. Obviously, you don't have to be in the Bull City. After all, Chris is in Raleigh, but you can be anywhere. I've interviewed people from Pakistan, Brazil, England, whatever. If you want to drop in, by all means. So be sure to read the Durham Skywriter, that's Durham, North Carolina's online community paper, and share this out so more people can find out what's happening today and tomorrow morning here in the Bull City. Ciao for now. I will see you tomorrow.